Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Love Hotel, Season 1, Episode number 7. This one is called The Spa Before the Storm. It's all right.
And we now know that there's only one more episode left.
Yes. It's only going to be 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We start out with 72 hours until the final checkout. And Joel is with all the group of people. And Shannon announces that she saw a shirtless man this morning leaving Luanne's room.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe she outed him like that.
Well, I was wondering, was that like a production thing?
Probably.
Probably.
I think
But I just
everything
thought it was a little
Luanne and
rude.
James are doing right now is a production thing. I think they're doing everything for the cameras.
Yeah.
I really do. Because he's way too over the top.
Oh, way
Like,
too
I
over
can't
the
even
top.
imagine how annoying he is to all of them. He is annoying the fuck out of me, and I'm sitting in my living room watching him an hour a week for 7 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. He
Can you
is a
imagine
little
living
much.
that for like a month?
No.
No.
I would feel the same way the rest of them did.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
So James has professed his love for Luanne, and Mark says he finds it hard to lay it all out there himself. And Gisele translate that into he's saying that James is acting. I love
Yeah.
that we had Gisele there as the translator. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Then Joel lets him know there's not going to be any more eliminations until after the final date, which will be an overnight date.
Mhm.
So that's interesting.
I like how Gisele was like, I'm not down for that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be overnight with anybody.
Yeah, that's not her gig. And
It's-
I don't think if Shannon were with Earl primarily right now, it would be her gig either.
If she wasn't with Earl, you mean?
Yeah, like if there were more than one person she was pursuing right now, I don't think she'd
Yeah.
be down for it either.
No.
But because she's pretty much been with Earl since the beginning,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
but
problem.
that's definitely not Gisele.
I do
Right. I mean, it's
like how they did that thing in the beginning though with the rewind, like that.
Yeah.
In the very beginning when they did the whole rewind thing. I just like when they
Yeah.
mix it up with something different.
so the producer asks Gisele, who's a better cuddler, Phil or Theo? And Gisele's like, I don't like to cuddle.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So today they're going to have a group date. And Gisele says that, Wale is her guy for Ashley, but, Ashley's not listening to her. And then Mark, I don't know what the hell is going on with Mark. He decides all of a sudden now he's going to go for Gisele since Luanne shut him down. I mean, come on,
Stop.
Mark.
Stop
Yeah,
with that.
I mean, listen, Mark, you're on the show. You get to stay in the hotel for another 3 days.
Right.
So
Enjoy it.
enjoy it.
Right.
What are you doing? I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Gisele's an absolutely beautiful woman, but obviously he would have done something sooner than now.
Yes. Give her more credit.
It was
Yeah,
really
exactly. Give her more credit. That's
it was
right.
really low budget. It was a low budget.
Yes, totally
Mm.
agree.
You have no game. Wear a shirt with some sleeves. Stop it.
So the interesting thing about Mark is that
Stop wearing the hat.
Cousin Gina let us know that she has been watching Mark on Instagram, that he does home remodeling for like over a
Yes,
year.
cousin Gina has been following Mark for years on Instagram.
Yes.
That's so funny.
And
Isn't
so
that so funny?
I looked at his Instagram. Did you look at it? Because
No.
someone put it in our comments, like a link to his Instagram. So
I think I did see that.
Yeah, so I checked it out. Like he's doing like home remodeling and brownstones and stuff. Like if I was following him there, I was like, not so bad. I feel like it's a totally different version than we're getting.
Mm.
Well, that's what happens when the cameras
Yeah.
go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting, and thank you to Cousin Gina for giving us that info.
Yeah.
Theo thinks that Gisele is his type.
He's really feeling her.
She doesn't really know a lot about him, but she is intrigued by him. And then we see Shannon's asking Wale how it's going, and he's like, he really can't gauge it with Ashley. And I could see why he can't, because she really is playing him.
Yeah.
She really is. I actually am aggravated for him with the way
and
she's
I
treating
think
him.
that, like, his point is valid. Like, you know enough by now.
Right.
You have enough information. You have enough data. You got enough to know if I'm really somebody you want to pursue seeing.
Right. Either you're
Yeah.
digging me
He's
or
not
you're not.
wrong.
Right.
No, I
Right.
agree. I agree. So then the group date is they're all together at this like big table, and the ladies decide they're going to sit next to men that they're not interested in so that they can find out, information for their friends, right?
Good idea.
It was a very good idea. And they're painting these little ceramic things, which I thought was interesting, but okay.
How did you pronounce it? Alibri? That's what they were doing.
Yeah. It's like
That's what the spirit animals were or something.
I just,
It's ALEBRIJE, I think.
I don't know. I just called them little
Yeah.
ceramics.
Yeah.
I wasn't about to get into that. Mark is saying how James is driving him crazy. We hear Gisele's talking to Mark about her daughter, being evacuated because of the storm, and she's in Florida. And Earl is on the other side of her, and he starts, mentioning about he keeps getting these alerts, over and over, because I guess he has a home in Florida as well as in Georgia, which we didn't know, but apparently Shannon did know. I thought it was interesting when Gisele said to her in the confessional, well, I didn't know that he had another house. And Shannon's like, well, he does, but it's not on the water. Okay.
Please.
All right.
I mean, maybe she was saying that in reference to the hurricane. Maybe that's why she was saying it.
Maybe. That,
like,
that
it's
could
not
be.
right in the,
right.
Whatever they call it, the eye of the street.
Right. Right.
I'll be honest with you.
Inland.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that Shannon really understood the whole concept of a hurricane, because she's a West Coast girl. Like, they don't get hurricanes. They don't
talk to her about an earthquake, and she'll have
Yes.
something to say.
Here's my thing. When she said to him, and I know I'm jumping,
No,
well,
that's
why
all right.
would you buy a property there if you know there's hurricanes? Why would you live in California when there's earthquakes? I'd rather, obviously, I'm from Jersey. We've been through our fair share of hurricanes. I would much rather wait out a hurricane than think the fucking ground is going to crack in front of me.
Right.
And my fucking house is going to collapse. I won't live near tornadoes or earthquakes.
Yeah.
Like, that was a dumb thing to say.
It was dumb.
But why would you buy property there if the whole East Coast is subject to hurricanes, you jackass?
Right. We're all a bunch of dummies.
Yeah, I don't think she understood the whole concept. I really don't.
No.
Don't.
My God.
So then all of a sudden, Luanne announces to the group that she'd like to talk to them about something that interests her. And all of a sudden, Ashley looks up at her and she's like, oh, hello, Avatar. And I was like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
And then she's got all this paint all over her face. Like, that was a little odd.
What is she talking about, Avatar? And
right.
then, she was.
So she said that a friend that she met in Tulum, Mexico, started the fetish festival in the world. Okay. So then Gisele asked, like, what is her fetish? And she's like, oh, hats. And James said, my fetish is dating a housewife. I'm like, come on, James.
So cringe.
Ew.
They showed, like, I was doing something when I was watching it, because I was watching it on my laptop, and I paused it because I had to do something. And I actually paused it right after he said that. It was where I paused it was on Ashley's face, and her face just was like, ew. Like, ew.
So cringy.
Very cringy.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they said this or I just wrote this. After he said that, I wrote, everyone is like, just shut the fuck up already. Did they say that, or did I just write that?
That's how I just wrote it. If they didn't say it, they were thinking it.
That's what they were.
That's what I was thinking.
It. They were thinking it. Like, shut up. Like, he just needs the camera on him constantly.
Yeah.
You wrote down what everyone was thinking. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Ralph's fetish is silence. I mean,
that's what he said to James.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically that was him nicely saying, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. So Ashley's sitting next to Mitchell, and she's telling him, basically that he needs to get to know Luanne, because she thinks that, like, he might be a good fit for her, right? because he's saying that I didn't realize like he was a psychotherapist because we really don't know that much
I
about
didn't
him.
either.
Yeah, because he says that to her. Yeah, he said that he said I would like to try and get to know her, but there's somebody here that doesn't really let me get close to her and get to know her. And then I don't know what she said, but then he said I am a psychotherapist girl. He said, he's like, it's not like I'm not a psychotherapist girl, like he is. So I thought that was very interesting because he was very vocal about his opinions of how James was acting towards Luanne.
Well, listen, this is a guy who can spot like a cook of dough from a mile away.
Right, exactly.
It makes sense that
exactly.
he's looking at this behavior going,
Yeah. What is going on?
what is going on?
Right,
And
exactly.
even a little more disturbing is the fact that Luanne thinks it's good.
Yeah,
That's why.
Like
That's why I think it's all for the cameras.
Probably, yeah.
She has to be getting a creep vibe. Although he's staying in her room.
Hey, look,
So maybe she's not getting a creep vibe.
She wasn't looking like she was creeped out in that pool. So I could say.
No, you're right.
No,
You're
she
right.
wasn't. No, you're right.
I think she likes a love bomber. Some people like it. Yeah, thank you.
Not me.
Not me neither.
No.
Go away.
Which works out really well for Eric.
Yeah.
Because he is not a love bomber.
Yeah. It's like, don't do too much. It's just, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
So then Mark goes over to Gisele and asks if they can sit down and talk a minute. And, he starts I really want to get to know you. And Gisele calls him out right away. Like, don't, after Luanne shuts you down, don't come playing the Gisele game. Sorry, buddy. Nobody wants to be second pick. And she's right.
Yeah.
And then Phil comes over and asks, if he can sit down. And he's like, I'd like to talk alone. So he kind of dismisses Mark, which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
And so Phil and, Gisele are catching up. And I thought this was weird. Phil admits that he had met Cynthia before.
Very weird.
I didn't think this was weird at all.
I did.
Because
Why
he
wouldn't
said
you say something?
she had been to the house with Mike because she didn't recognize him. So it was probably a one-time thing. She didn't recognize him. If somebody doesn't recognize me, I don't say anything. I don't say.
But this is the thing. He could have, okay, you don't say anything to Cynthia, but afterwards you don't say to Gisele, hey, I didn't want to say anything because she didn't recognize me, but she's been to my house before with her ex. Like, why wouldn't
That's what he's doing now.
Well, he's only doing it now because she said to him, oh, I'm surprised you don't know Cynthia. She said that to him.
Because of where he lives.
Yes.
I don't know why I didn't think this was weird at all.
Yeah, I thought it was odd.
I did. I
did
think it was odd. Then we see Shannon and Earl are sitting down and they're chatting, and Shannon asks, that's when she asked him, like, why would you buy a house in like an area that's prone to damage? And he said, well, they've never had this before, which again, like we talked about, like it's the whole East Coast. And my parents lived in their house for 40 years before, and there was nothing before Superstorm Sandy. So that's very possible,
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Like you don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah.
Oh, and hurricanes hit different areas all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're not on the water, but Sandy killed us. We're close to the water, but we're not on the water.
Right.
We were out of power for 11 days. Like you just don't know.
Right. And that's the whole thing. Like she didn't even know that because he wasn't on the water and he got hit really bad.
Right. Right.
How about Phil being a model?
Which didn't surprise me. Did that surprise you when they said he was a Ford model?
Yeah, but for like 40 years or something? Like he was
it didn't surprise me.
One little shot.
But I think that's weird that he didn't bring that up. Like I think that's something he probably should have brought up.
I think he did. I think he did bring it up. That's why the producers pointed it out to her. Because the producer wouldn't tell her that if it wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Why didn't he bring that up to her?
I'm saying I think that he did because it came out in the confessional. She said in the confessional about, what's his name? Hold on.
No, because she was like, what the fuck? Why didn't you bring that up, Phil? I don't think she knew. I don't think he told her. I think it was in his, his video to get on the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember seeing.
I mean, that is possible.
Yeah. I don't think he told her.
And I feel like,
I think the producers told her.
I've watched some social media clips and some YouTube things, and we're not alone in thinking that, maybe feels like bi-ish.
No,
That
we're definitely not alone. As a
Yeah,
matter of fact,
definitely not alone in that thought process.
when they were showing him walking the runway 40 years ago with Ford Modeling, the first thing I thought of is, do you remember Dwight
Oh, yeah.
from Atlanta? I was like, oh, he gives me Dwight vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't he? Like give you those
He has
Dwight?
cancer, Dwight. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay too.
But he definitely gives Dwight vibes.
Yeah. Ashley's talking to Ralph and asking him, why he wasn't open to talk about what his fetishes were. And he's like, well, he didn't really feel comfortable talking about it like out in the open. And he says, if you've had a relationship with a female, if that was like a one time, because she brought it up. She's like, well, I've told you I've had relationships with, women before. I'm kind of fluid with my sexuality. And he's like, well, if that's something in the past, then, she's like, no, I don't know that that's something in the past. He said, well, that would have to be a conversation. And you think that that would stop her.
Yeah.
Instead of what Wale's doing. Like, I think that she is just not even thinking.
Yeah, because, she says she's a monogamous person.
Right.
And he keeps asking her, like, was it a phase?
Right. And she's like,
And
no.
she's like, no, like, and she says, I need someone who can hang with the girls. Did she say, I need someone to hang with the girls and the gays? Is that what she said?
I think
Or
she
the
did.
guys?
Confessional.
Okay.
Oh, it was her confessional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if his reaction, if that's truly how she feels, which obviously it is, his
Right.
reaction, I would have been like, well, fuck you.
Right. Right. Like, I can't believe she didn't give him a hard time about that, but yet she's giving Wale a hard time about, like, I'm not doing this anymore.
She doesn't even listen to Wale when he's talking.
Yeah.
She just keeps talking over him. I can't believe this guy's still there. I would have been like, peace. Although, you know what?
It's a free vacation.
Exactly. The booze is flowing.
Yeah.
The food's right there for you. You're at a beautiful location.
Yeah.
So you put up with Ashley's bullshit for a couple more days.
Yep. Then we see Luanne is talking to Mitch, and Mitch is telling Luanne that he doesn't like the way that James treats her. He thinks he's disrespecting her, and she was like indignant about it. I mean, didn't you think she was indignant about it?
Most
Sure.
definitely.
I did not see that reaction coming at all.
No, that she excuses herself and is like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly could have been a little more gracious about that. Like, thanks for really, looking out for me, and I'll keep that in mind, even if you don't. But just to be totally dismissive when, I'm sure people have made comments and made faces previous to this when he said things, even the whole she's my girlfriend. Like, this is not like the first time that someone's brought something up in regards to his behavior. So, I mean, I think Mitch came on like super intense and strong about it, but maybe that's because this is his profession and he can really see that there's like a serious problem.
Right.
Right. And because he also saw that everyone else has said something about it and she's not even reacted to it.
No,
so like maybe if I just sit down and have a one-on-one with her and
now knowing that he's a psychotherapist, like you think that she would like heed his advice.
Right. And he was coming at it from a different angle. He was saying that I think that you're being disrespected, not that anything that, you know what I mean? He was saying it as like a protective, like you're the one I'm looking out for you. You're being disrespected. And I don't know.
She wanted no part of it.
No, she really didn't. Now we're at 48 hours until checkout and they all get together in the lobby. And then James shows up without a shirt on and Luanne was losing it.
Scolded him like he was a child.
Yep.
Yes, but he behaves like a child. And, in some ways she's right. We're not on a boat.
Right.
Don't show up with no shirt. Like, put a fucking shirt on.
She was upset. Cool. Right. Told me he doesn't look chic. I just thought that was so funny.
I mean, who do you think this guy is? He's not the Count.
No, he's not the Count. He's not the Count. Then Joel comes out and asks if there's any special news. Well, obviously he knew there was special news because you don't ask that question unless you know the answer.
Exactly.
Earl announces that Shannon gave him the key to her room and asked him to move in with her. I honestly did not see that coming, but okay.
Ashley and Luanne both said they think it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, they were right. Turns out they were
sure
right.
Were. They sure were right.
So then they're going for a luxurious spa group date. When they were at that
Excuse
spa,
me, did you guys notice that Theo was wearing a vest that morning when they got together with Joel?
did not.
No, I did not.
Not a macrame vest.
No, I did
hanging
not
out with
notice
Mark
that.
too much?
I
Hanging out with
think
Mark too
he
much?
and Mark had a conversation that morning.
They might be rubbing off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told you about the necklace thing, so maybe now it's going to vestiture.
Yeah, the vest.
Yes.
That whole spa thing was giving me Hard Rock Cafe spa vibes the day that we spent there.
Totally.
Right? Didn't you
when
feel
they were
that?
in the hot and then they went in the cold plunge?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, oh, this like reminds us of the Hard Rock.
Yep. And then James announces that nobody better touch Luanne because she's his girl.
What is he, 10?
He is a creep.
Stop it.
And then that's when Mark said, like, how much longer do we have to listen to this bullshit?
Right.
And then Mitch said that, you know, the way you're handling this, I don't like the way you're handling it. If you were my friend, I'd punch you. And that's when Luanne was still like, and who said, what's going on? Oh, Wale. Wale's like, nobody's punching it. He's like, nobody's punching anybody.
Wale is like, what is happening here? What's happening here?
I mean, that was a bit aggressive.
Definitely aggressive.
Yeah, it was, it was aggressive.
So Joel asks Luanne if she feels disrespected, and she says, no, I feel like a princess. Come on.
I'm telling you.
That's why part of me thinks that she's, but that's why part of me thinks that this is all for the camera too on Luanne's part. Because, I mean, even Ashley's saying it's too much. Shannon saying he's love bombing her. Like, she's not a dumb woman, Luanne.
No, she's not.
But I don't think
I mean, she married Tom because to save face.
But I don't
she
think
knew what was going on.
I don't think she's a great picker, though. I don't think she's a great picker.
That could be.
I really just don't. I don't think she's a great picker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh my God, Mark said that James is like a little boy that's not medicated.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like, so true.
So true. It's so true.
Wasn't that Ralph that said that? That if you
I had
just
hear
look at
that
him
Mark
like
said
that?
it,
Oh,
but
I don't know. Who knows?
It could, you know what? It could have been either one of them because I think he was just annoying the F out of both of them so badly.
So badly.
So it very well could have been Ralph.
Yeah. I don't know who said it.
Spot on, whoever said it.
Yes.
Then Luanne also said, he makes me feel safe. That was strange.
Yeah.
Why don't you feel like what?
He doesn't make any of the rest of us feel safe.
No.
He really doesn't.
No.
And then Mark said, well, where's the danger? And he's right. Like, where is the danger? What is it you feel safe from? Like what?
Stupid.
Shannon getting in the cold plunge, screaming like a lunatic. Just like, oh my God, Shannon. Just
and you know what? Those cold plunges aren't even that cold. I mean, at least the one at Hard Rock wasn't.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that cold.
I didn't go in it.
There are some, like the true, like therapeutic ones are really
Yeah. But the one I mean, maybe it was. The one they went in looked exactly like the one we went in at Hard Rock, and it was not that
cold. But the best was when Gisele said about Phil, are your balls okay?
Yeah. He was in there. It was like Zen-like to him.
Yeah,
He was not even fazed by it.
No.
Yeah.
Which I thought.
I don't know what's going on there.
So Wale in his confessional is like, I can't believe I'm in a battle with a 61-year-old.
White guy. Yeah.
I think that's just really jacking him up.
Yeah.
Well,
it's so true, though.
I mean, come on. Really? I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought if you
and then Ashley asks him to talk, and he says,
Yep. Yep. And that's when he says, I think you have enough information. Like,
yeah,
he's losing respect for himself.
Right. Either you dig me or you don't. That's it.
And she said, are you removing yourself? And he said he's not checking out, but she should know where she's at.
I thought it was interesting.
Now, this is a Wale we should all get on board with.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that he used those words, that he's losing respect for himself, after Mitch said that James was being disrespectful to
Yeah.
Luanne. I was like, oh, so now, and like now he's like seeing it. Like I think that's when it kind of hit him. Like, wait a second, like why am I doing this? Like,
Well,
I'm a good catch.
Right. And people could argue, oh, well, this is the show. This is part of the show. This is what you're supposed to be doing. But, if you're somebody who's not in it for the fame aspect and really did come there to find someone, just like the other gentleman that excused himself and left. I mean, he obviously wasn't there for the free food and the drinks and to have, airtime.
Oh yeah, Jay.
It was
Jay.
It was actually came with a premise of trying to meet someone. So if that's where Wale is really coming from, then those kind of statements are totally understandable.
No, I agree. I mean, I applaud him for saying that and standing up to her. I just wasn't really thrilled with her reaction to it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Then we see Gisele sitting in between Theo and Phil, and Theo says that he would like to continue to get to know her, and I think she's okay with that. Like she wants to get to know him a little bit better too. Then we see Earl packs up his stuff and walks over to Shannon's room.
We don't know who the other girls picked for their overnight dates yet, right?
No, we don't.
Okay. Yeah.
No. And then, he's there and she says that she's going to go out with the girls, and he's telling her about the hurricane and that, it's not going to hit.
And it was Hurricane Helene. So we remember this hurricane.
You do?
This
I don't
was a
remember
serious one. Yeah.
Seriously, I don't remember it. I know that's so
Isn't
sick.
this the one that wiped out that whole town in North Carolina?
North Carolina. Yes, the North Carolina one. Yes.
I believe this is Helene.
Yes.
Devastating.
But he was in Georgia, and you're right, though. It was devastating to North Carolina. I definitely remember that one.
Yeah, it came way inland.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't matter that his house wasn't on the wall.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden we see the next morning Shannon's in there crying, and we're like, what the heck is going on?
Okay, so I have to say this.
Okay.
And I'm only saying it, and I'm being facetious, because when I cry so beautifully. Shannon Bedore, don't cry on national television. She snorts. She snorts.
Yeah.
It is not a good thing at all. Don't do it. Run in the bathroom. Tell the camera stop. Don't cry on national television because you snort.
Listen, I applaud her for being real. No,
all
you don't want the ugly cry?
No, I don't want the snort. I don't want Ralph growling when he's kissing Ashley, and I don't want
growling.
And I don't want Shannon snorting. I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay, so just do it.
So I just looked it up. So it was Hurricane Helene. It was September 24th through September 27th of 2024. Okay. And the affected areas were North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Cayman Islands, Honduras, and Yucatan Peninsula. So both of his homes could have been affected.
Wow. Yeah, so we find out that, when she was crying, I thought he had left the hotel. Like, I thought he went back. I did too. Right? Didn't you think that?
I thought he left to go check on his house.
Yeah,
I really did.
I did too. I didn't think he had a hissy fit because I feel like that's what happened. Like, she went and knocked on his door. We find out she knocked on his door. He heard her. Like, she didn't know. Like, are you kidding me? Grow up.
I don't know. I don't think he's totally in the wrong here.
Okay.
I don't think he's totally in the wrong here. I don't think he needed to be as upset with her as he was. I mean, she is on a TV show. They had plans to go to dinner. They're filming. He doesn't know they weren't filming the dinner because we didn't see any of it, but they could have been.
No, they probably were, but got
But they could have been.
Right. They decided not to use it. And
so
he said
this is her job.
Right. And he had said he was really tired. So she was like, okay, I'm going to go out to eat with the girls. Why I do that? You take a nap. And then when I get back, we'll hang out.
And I think that was the problem. She didn't come back after dinner. Then they went out to a bar and she was sending him videos of her dancing on the table. I think that's where he probably got upset and was like, okay, hold up. Yeah, I don't know if he has the right to be upset. I'm just saying, I think that's probably where he got upset. Not that she went to dinner, but the cameras go down. You said you were coming to my room. You know I'm upset, and you're sending me pictures of you dancing on the table.
I don't think she knew he was upset. I don't think she knew how upset he was.
I mean, how could you not, though?
I mean,
you know what?
I didn't know how upset he was.
Yeah. And because.
But you know what it feels like to know that there's a big storm coming and your house could be destroyed.
And I still didn't know. And she doesn't know that. And she doesn't know that because of what he didn't portray that. And like she said, all she had to do was ask her to stay, or ask her, or when she's sending him a text message, say, listen, it hit. Can you please come? She would have come. I mean, she's not a freaking mind reader.
I don't think he communicated it well.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he has the right to be as upset as he was and make such a big deal out of it.
But this is the thing. She asked him before she left for the dinner. And he said, no, it didn't hit or whatever. And she was like, see, I told you your house was going to be fine. And it wasn't like he said, oh, well, you're from the West Coast. You don't know about hurricanes. It still could, blah, 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 blah. As far as she knew, it was
fine.
It was a done deal. It was like, okay,
right.
Your house is in the clear. You're all good. So, why?
Listen, it's just so funny because she was upset that he didn't make a big deal about her 1-year anniversary of her DUI at 11:59 that night.
PM.
It's like, what? And now he's upset over this. One is way different than the other, but it's like, yeah, maybe you guys are just like missing each other.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem with all of Shannon's past relationships, and she said this, a trigger for her was they would get mad at her because of something she did or didn't do that she didn't know about. It was a communication problem. All of her prior relationships were because of communication issues, right? Like, that's what her problem was with David. That's what her problem was with John Jansen. They would get so mad at her, and she'd be like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? And now he's doing the exact same thing.
I mean, don't you wonder, like, are you the common denominator?
Of course,
she's definitely. Yeah.
Should you maybe tune in a little bit better to what you're? And listen, I'm not defending David or John Jansen. I think they're both scumbags. But maybe she should try to be a little bit more in tune to what her partner is going through.
Right, but
again, I don't think he had the right to react the way he did.
And on her part, I would say this, is that she has probably felt like whether she's been in tune correctly, she probably feels like in her past relationships that they have wanted that so much of her that she's just like, you know what? I don't want to worry about what's going on with you. Like, maybe she's more in that headspace of not wanting to be that so concerned with what everybody else is going through. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe she's.
I do, but I think in a new relationship, you kind of have to, don't you?
To a certain extent.
Yeah, but maybe she's to the point where she's like, this is my, I'm at this point, she's 61 years old. Like, someone's going to have to take her for who she is because, she's not changing. Like, this is who Shannon is. She needs someone who's going to be a clear communicator. It's obvious. If her next partner is not a clear communicator of what his expectations are, and she doesn't understand it clearly, she's going to disappoint him and they're going to argue. And she's going to have
problem.
Yeah, I think, I'm hoping that they don't, I think that this is a done deal now. And I do think it was very nice that the girls were supporting her. I think she could have taken a little bit of accountability.
Yeah.
But I do like the way the girls were.
And I feel like she got a little bit way too upset about it. I mean, you just met
what?
Well, yeah, but that's her. That's
who she is.
You can't tell her she's wrong or she's done something wrong. And I'm sure that's because of the PTSD from her prior relationships where they probably told her she was wrong all the time. I mean, I get blamed for everything around here. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, yeah, me too. No, it's
me
all
too.
my
But
fault.
the difference is
everything that goes wrong is my fault.
Right. But the difference is I don't care. I don't care what you think.
100%.
I don't care.
Yes. I don't care either.
Feel free at any time to do all this yourself. I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly.
Feel free. Feel free.
Yes.
You can't find something you were looking for? If you would have put it away, it would not be a problem for you. So don't come near me. Don't ask me nothing. That's where I'm at.
Right.
I do think it was
Agreed.
interesting, though, that when she found out what it was that was bothering him, she apologized. She said, I'm sorry, I
Yes.
apologize. And then he said, well, that's not good enough for me. Well, what is? Like, what do you
Yeah,
want
well,
her to
what
do?
is?
Yeah. You can't do that when somebody, because it's not easy for people to apologize, especially for
Right.
certain people.
It's not good enough.
So if somebody
Okay.
apologizes, you have to.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that, like Wendy said, if he would have communicated correctly, if he would have reached out to her, she would have been like, all right, on my way. Like, no problem.
Right.
Like, I don't think
Right.
it would have been like an issue.
Right.
I don't think that Shannon ever has a problem being needed, right? I don't think that. Like,
No,
if
I
someone
think that's
needs
her
her, I
thing.
think
No,
No,
it's a
she
good
likes that.
point. Yeah.
right? I don't think she
Yeah.
has a problem being needed. I think where she has a problem is when she doesn't know that she's needed and someone gets mad at her for not being
Right.
there. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, she's the kind of person, if you ask her to do something, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
She's going
most
to do it.
definitely. Yeah.
She's not,
Yeah.
she's not that person.
She's definitely a giver, less of a taker.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
She really is. She really is. And it's like, she's not a
Yeah.
mind reader, though. She is not a mind reader. And
No.
Yeah.
she's not,
He
she
definitely
doesn't,
should have texted her and been like, I'm really freaking out. Can you please
Yeah.
come here? And you're
Right.
right. She absolutely would have gone.
Yeah, I think she would have gone. No
I
problem.
think that's what it was. I think it was her going out and she sent him the video of her dancing on a bar.
right.
Yeah, because
And
as
he
far
was
as
probably
she
like,
knew,
what? Are you-
hurricane
yeah.
worries were over. Why not?
Right.
Right. Right.
Why not have a go? Oh, let's celebrate. His house didn't get destroyed. Woohoo!
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, if there was a problem, he would have let me know. I mean, of course he would, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you would think.
That's what you would think.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he
let's
says
see.
that he really likes Shannon and things were going really well, but she didn't check on him. And then this is the next morning with Joel, and Shannon gets very upset and says she wants to walk out.
Take
Yeah.
her to Q.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a
He
second.
does say that, right?
Yeah. What
Well,
about
yeah, because when they come out, the ladies say, listen, we've heard Shannon's side. We want to hear your side.
Right.
And he starts, and then she's like, oh, no. Like, I don't blame her.
But how come we didn't talk about this? Luanne and James in the pool. What the fuck? What the
It
fuck
was
was
disgusting.
that?
That's why we didn't talk about it. It was gross.
What are you doing?
Wendy's like, I'm trying to scrub it and erase it from my brain.
Out of
That's
your
why we
mind?
didn't talk.
Yeah,
like-
it was gross.
Who behaves like that in public with other, like, stop it. You're not in your bathtub.
Or your
It was just-
backyard. Like,
It was like,
yeah.
ew.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah. I was
All for
not
the cameras.
Yeah, it was
digging that hole.
Mm-mm. No, it was bad news.
So we have one more episode. We're going to find out, I guess, if there's any matches made, who they're going to do their overnight with. We've got a lot of stuff we got to find out in an
Who do you
hour.
think Giselle's going to pick? I think she's going to pick Theo.
I don't think she's going to pick anyone.
But you
Oh,
know
there
what?
you
You're
go.
right. It's Gisele. She probably isn't going to
She's
pick
not
anyone.
picking anybody. Nope.
There
I
you
think
go.
you're right. I wonder who Ashley's going to pick. I hope it's Wale, but
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see.
I
We'll
could
see
see
what
her-
her coochie says.
Yeah, exactly.
Coochie
And
Road.
then Luanne, I mean, I think she's already had James, so.
Well, that's
Yeah,
who she's
I
going to
know.
pick. She's going to pick James. Yeah, Gisele isn't picking anybody. Shannon's not picking anybody. I think you're right. I don't know. Actually, Ashley's a wild card. I don't know who she's going to
Ashley
pick.
is a wild card.
I don't know who
I
she's
wonder
going to
if
pick.
Earl's going to leave now.
He should.
He probably should. If you're that upset, what
Yeah.
are you staying for?
Yeah, go check on your house.
Right.
Get the next flight out and go.
Yeah. So I have seen some things online about Luann, flashing a ring around. But supposedly it's not an engagement ring, but and I also heard that she's actually dating some real estate guy from the Hamptons.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So we
There's
shall
so
see.
many rumors out there that are just so false. It's so hard to even know what is real.
Yeah, there's so much AI
Well-
generated stuff.
There's definitely pictures of her in the Hamptons flashing this ring. And they are not photos that are just like on the fly. They're definitely staged. She definitely knew her picture was being taken, and she was definitely
Posing with her ring?
Yeah, she was definitely, yeah. But, these people do stuff like that just so people will
Well,
wonder.
Luanne does get engaged
And
quickly.
meanwhile,
she
it's
did it
like
with the Count. She did it with Tom. Like, she moves quick.
just a
So
ring that she slapped
She
on her
does.
finger
it
just
wouldn't
to
surprise me. It
get
really would
some.
not
No, you're
surprise
absolutely
me.
right. Yeah. you're
Luanne
right.
moves quick.
Yep.
She does. I mean, I don't know that she thinks things through, but she does move quick. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I really actually would like a Love Hotel reunion, but I don't think we're going to get that.
I don't think so either. It would be nice, though.
Right. Thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.